Well, that was a tough night to take right there. On both sides of the border, right? You guys know our main goal over the last 2 weeks was to get the horses healthy. It was really, really becoming a problem. And what you saw tonight wasn't sick horses. There was horses that weren't tight enough. We couldn't train them up leading up to the race. The horses only really started to get really healthy 4 or 5 days ago. And as I said to you yesterday, I was sure everybody was healthy. GW Chrome, I guess maybe you have to reassess. Is he a gold colt? Thought he was. Now, he was tired tonight. Take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, Mama Knows Best was just as tired, right? Probably one of the most underrated fillies I've seen in a while who really surprised me tonight was My Jazz. And I know that she's shown up at home and trained okay at times, but she's a legit filly. And I was cheating a little bit in the last turn. She runs in a bit, and usually if you start to angle them out of the hole, they'll straighten up and, get her in attack mode. And it looked like Erin was vulnerable. It didn't feel to me like I was in any danger from behind of people passing me. And then Ronnie started his feet up the inside of me. Now, there was a time in Anthony McDonald's driving career where that would have resulted in maybe Ronnie getting pinched off. But I'd rather not get set back. And to be honest, I could hear him chasing his horse. I really thought if My Jazz, I don't know why I would have thought this, because what she did tonight was a pretty incredible mile, but I was asking a lot. I thought Erin's vulnerable. I don't feel any immediate danger from behind me. If I just slide her to the outside, she'll coast by Erin. We'll be second. Ronnie starts up the inside of me. I got caught cheating a little bit. Now I'm in a bad spot. I can't really pinch him off. I can if I want to be a dick. But, and maybe set back. But I said I can't. He caught me. He put me in a bad spot. He's forcing me out of the hole now. I start her up, and she tries to come forward. She tried her heart out to come forward. She just didn't have enough steam left in her engine, and that wasn't her fault. 2 weeks, this filly hasn't trained, and she was sick the last time she raced. She pulled up and coughed. Of all the horses we had in Ohio, My Jazz was the sickest on race night in Northfield. And when they're sick like that in the race, you really don't know how they're going to bounce back. You really have to give them enough time to bounce back. If you try to double down on a sick horse like that, if you're really unlucky, you might ruin their career. If you're fortunate, you might get away with it, but they're not going to race good. What you saw tonight was Mama Knows Best tired, not sick. We scoped these horses after, perfectly clean. So mission accomplished in that regard. They weren't tight enough, right? But pick your poison. I want to have the horses healthy and try and get them raced. GW Chrome felt really good sitting in the 2-hole and then got tired, fizzled out. Now, I do want to treat GW Chrome for EPM. I just the way he acts, he feels like such a better horse than he is. And maybe he's not. Maybe he's just a good Buckeye horse. There's nothing wrong with that. He wants to be a good horse. Maybe he's just not good enough. I don't know. It feels like he is, but maybe he's not. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to treat the horse for EPM this week. We're going to make sure he's tight. I don't really know what's next for these horses. A lot of them have the Ohio Fair race, the big Sire Stake race coming up, the Ohio State Fair it's called, in 2 weeks. What do we do till then? Race them in an overnight? Do we go to a fair with a couple of them? Miss Meringue made a break for no particular reason tonight. That pissed me off. And she was daring me to let her trot out of there, and I did, and she made a break. In Northfield, I coddled her out of the gate, got away 6th, and let her kind of grind up into gear, and then I went with her. Tonight, the 1, 2, and 3 aren't on the gate. I'm just letting her trot out of there, and I said, I can get in front of those 3. Maybe get spotted. No. She was baiting me. As soon as I gave her a head and chirped to her, she made a break, and that really annoys me. Maybe she's hurting somewhere. Maybe she is. She was laying on the gate and pole a bit. We'll get her looked at tomorrow, but I was really, especially after I'm a Lovely Lady's break, there was such a deflating end to the night. I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to make this video. Mama Knows Best did everything she could. Third, trotted 58 and 4 out of the 9-hole, just tired. GW Chrome hung on for 5th. In hindsight, only one horse coasted by him down the lane. He just did everything he could, finished 5th. Got some money, got some points. And then My Jazz, raced incredible tonight. She's going to be a nice little filly. Really, really impressed with her. If I don't try and cheat in the last turn and try and get her moving a little earlier, if I stay hugged to the rail, am I third? I was beat a length and 3/4 for third. I might have been third. So that's on me. But my Jazz raced incredible. And then I'm a Lovely Lady. She ran in the first turn. I actually ran over Kurt Suggs' wheel in the first turn because she ducked in quick. Never put a step in. Ran over a race bike wheel. Never put a step in. Now I'm following the horse. I did intend to leave with her. A couple of things could have taken place. It's hot down here tonight. These horses are coming off the virus. I didn't want to warm them up 2 trips and scorch them the last quarter like I usually would. Make sure they're in tune, wound up, got their lungs opened up and they're ready to go. I went easy with my I'm a Lovely Lady warming up, and maybe that was a deciding factor. It's not like she hasn't ever made breaks in the straightaways before. She has, training down in that very spot. Just the way she raced in Northfield, I just didn't see this coming. Especially, I caught myself, she caught that wheel and come right up trotting. I'm like, oh my God, you dodged a bullet there. We come out of the turn. Now I went to leave. I looked left. That's not going anywhere. There's the 6, favorite on the board. Horse they picked to win. Right there with I'm a Lovely Lady. Get in behind him. She ducks in. I hit his bike. She stays trotting. I'm like, oh, you dodged the bullet there. You're in front of the stands, getting ready to follow the only horse you got to beat. Right there in front of you. The horse that wins the race. I never asked her. Never chirped to her. She just rolled off. And I don't know why. Because she trotted out of the gate great. She trotted down the backstretch great. She trotted down the lane great. She just made that one little mistake. And as I'm saying this, as I'm talking out loud, maybe we should have went those 2 trips, but ultimately what we did was to come here for points and money. Get a little drink, get a little check, put some money together, put some points on the board, gather up and get the horses real tight for next time. And instead, I shouldn't say, I'm not whining, GW Chrome, I have to reassess everything in my head. Is he as good as I think? Sebastian Yu is a different horse, so we put him on Baycox. So maybe that's something that'll help GW Chrome. He just seems like he wants to and can't do more. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It just feels like he's a better horse, and although he was tired tonight and he had every reason to wilt, come 32 seconds and finish up, my Jazz didn't. Right? Mama Knows Best didn't. I'm a Lovely Lady made a break and still tried her last half, 58 last quarter in 29 seconds. Miss Meringue was a little disappointing tonight, but, we'll work on her. She was over on the shaft. She's going to need some help. So, as I said in my video last week, tonight is Miss Meringue's probably her last sire stakes. She'll drop into the Buckeye, which is here next time. I thought that would be a feather in our cap, as I said that last week. Maybe it's not. So, either way, we're going to stick to our plan. We're going to get her looked at by the vet. I did see something a little bit right hind. There was no marks on her bandages behind, so it wasn't interfering. I think maybe she's pinching a little bit. We'll get that right hind looked at. Put her in the Buckeye here next time, and I will protect her out of the gate. She won't have to go in 57. She can race just like she did in Northfield and hopefully win. So that's the plan with Miss Meringue. She'll drop down now. GW Chrome, I'm going to have to reassess. We're going to put him up. We're going to treat him for EPM with either Marquis or Baycox, whatever is more prevalent to use down here. And then the other horses, we would have been having, I would have been okay with tonight had I'm a Lovely Lady followed the 6. Just come up short, finish second. I would have been happy. That was the breaking point. Miss Meringue was a kick in the ass. But the breaking point was definitely I'm a Lovely Lady. Nevertheless, we salvaged some money and points with the other 3 horses. Mama Knows Best race incredibly well. My Jazz is a killer. GW Chrome got some money and points, but was tired. And then the other 2 were tough to take. Emerald Miss can't pace 53. She was another one. 2 weeks I haven't trained her. Was she short? Yes. There was another division I think went in 52 or something. So we just have to find a place for Emerald Miss. That's all. A better place for her. There should be a place in the state of Ohio for an Ohio-bred pacing filly that paced 55. Yeah, we'll find a spot for her. Now, when we switch over to Canada, Timo Houdini hadn't raced in a month. I addressed this. This was the tipping point for all the horses leaving Canada, was the Timo Houdini situation. We just couldn't get him in. And we did. We get rid of the horses out of Canada. A lot of them are in Pennsylvania or Indiana or Illinois, out of Canada. So Timo Houdini should be free and clear to race in the numbers of 2, numbers of 3. Spirit of Dio made a break leaving. Now, James swears she was trotting fine, and I could see it. I saw in the video, before I saw the chart liner, I saw James. I saw in the video, Jody makes a break, and then as soon as Jody makes a break, you see Spirit of Dio, just for a second, throw her head, lose her concentration, and make a break. To me, that's what I saw. I texted James. First thing I said was, "You suck." Now, this is 5 minutes after I just made a break with I'm a Lovely Lady, so I couldn't really say much. I was joking. He said, "Nah, the filly," he said, "Jody made a break and kind of spooked her, and she made a break." I said, "Is there a chance you can get her around next week? That would be great if you could do that for me." He said, "No problem at all." He said, "It was just," he said, "That's what happened." Now, she'd made it, he said she was trotting great. I did see 2 X's on her chart lines, although they put 2 X's on I'm a Lovely Lady, and she didn't run twice. So maybe it was just in between 2 charting angles. I have no idea. But James said to me she was trotting fine after I got spooked from Jody. Said she was on the left line. Now she just did a splint crowd left front. I can't see the splint. I'm going to ask Cindy about the splint. Cindy is Jason's head trainer in Ontario. I'm just going to say, listen, how's the splint? James said she was on the left line. If it was just a splint, it's an easy fix. Just cool it out. Might be a little surface infection on that splint. That's a possibility. But maybe if she doesn't think it's a splint, maybe we'll get her mouth checked. I didn't find her on the left line when I drove her, but we did have vet work done on her, so something might be going on there. Nothing serious. James said she was fine. Cindy hasn't mentioned anything wrong with her. I will get her to check that splint, make sure that it's cooling out good, and that there's no surface infection in there. And then also, if possible, maybe when the vet's there tomorrow, get her mouth checked just to make sure. 3-year-olds sometimes get those caps, right? Those baby teeth are coming off, and I don't know if she was addressed down in Florida. John's a pretty diligent guy, so I would say she was, but we'll double check just to make sure. So pretty shitty night all around. I was extremely impressed with my Jazz. Mama Knows Best continues to impress. Short. And you guys have to understand, for horsemen out there, you'll understand our problem, right? When the horses are sick and you can't train them, you got a stake race coming, you do the best you can. We jogged them up 3, 4, 5 miles, but we just weren't ready to train them. They weren't over the virus quick enough. They weren't over the virus in a time frame when we could train them. They seemed healthy. They were jogging the whole time. We did the best we could. That by in no means was the best of those horses tonight. I think as I've talked to you now, I'm a Lovely Lady's an easy fix. I'll go 2 trips with her, let her scorch the last quarter, really thaw her out so she got her head in the game, and she thawed out real good for a mile. I don't know what the hell went on tonight. I'd love to say I did this, or something happened, or she did this, or she hit herself. I can't tell you. I don't know what happened. She just rolled off like that. And she's done it before, so as I said, I think it might just be a mental thing. We got her thawed out a little bit more and ready to rock. We certainly can do that, no problem. So that's the plan for her. The other horses are tight now. Make sure they're okay tomorrow. They all appeared fine. We scoped GW Chrome. No allergies, no mucus, no nothing. He's tired, right? He was just tired because he wasn't ready. Mama Knows Best, no mucus, no nothing. And, of course, all the other horses seem fine. So we will move forward with it. Tough night for the stable. It won't be the last, and it certainly has not been the first. But hopefully we'll bounce back. We have Argento in the Sire Stakes on Monday in the Meadows. I got to train. I got to get in this car. I'm going to be home. Imagine home. My home at the La Quinta. I'm going to be in Northfield Park for 2 a.m. Try and get some sleep because I have to train globetrotting in the morning with Jason and Kirby. Want to beat the heat and get her trained up tomorrow. See how she is coming into what hopefully we believe will be the turning point of her 3-year-old career. She's had a pretty rough go of it up to now. We've had enough time to fix her issues. One, address all our issues, fix the ones we could, and work on the other ones between now and her next stake race down here. Yes, down here in Scioto. So a big run coming up in Scioto. We got some horses with question marks still around them. We got some horses that we're trying to get back in shape. We get some horses we have to reassess, but at the same time, tough night. We'll pull through it. You will too. And we'll move on. So I'm going to take my show on the road right now. I'm going to leave Scioto Downs, and I'm going to head back to Northfield Park. Globetrotting tomorrow. Try and get some rest. For those of you out there, first time in my life, I'm going to miss my kid's birthday. It is Oliver's birthday on Monday, 21st. Tuesday, 21st. So, Ollie always sneaks in and watches you. Happy birthday, Ollie. I wish I could I could come home, but I can't. On the 21st, I'll be hopefully in Indiana with the big girl. That's my girl. Hopefully she's healthy enough. She did cough today. Looks like she's getting over this too. So we're really going to stretch this timeline and see how long it takes these horses to get over it. I talked to Doug Rideout today, who's going to be our trainer, our affiliate trainer in Indiana, and I told him if she's not right, we're scratching her, and that's that. So here's the thing. The burn in Ohio is over the virus. Different forms. The timeline for That's My Girl is a little behind the other horses, so we'll see how quickly we can get her back in some kind of shape. She drew the rail in Indiana, and the same goes for the horse we scratched tonight in Ohio. Horse we scratched was Italian Grit. No, that was Wednesday. Italian Grit scratched. Friday, Fox Valley Britska scratched. Both sick, both trying to get them over it for next week. It's going to be a rocky start in Indiana, but we'll try and salvage it. Lots of racing still there. 6 legs of the Sire Stakes. As I said to somebody today, what we do when the horses are sick right now, how we treat them, what we do with them, that will define what happens the rest of the season for them. You won't race a horse that you know is sick. You are in for a world of hurt more times than not. So, hopefully, we avoided a catastrophe. Good news is the horses bounced back good. They seem good. They seem healthy tonight. We'll have them tighter and stronger for next week. It's dark out. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.